Everyone, it is me again, Ivonne Emil Elizondo. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. I figured that I would do a couple of videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, maybe part 4, explaining or just kind of give you an idea of the crystals that I use, crystals, herbs, incense, and essential oils that I tend to use mostly. They're my go-tos whenever I do any sort of magical work or any sort of healing or any sort of ritual or ceremony. I tend to just go to my favorites. So I'm going to share those with you. But I just wanted to say that part of the reason that I ended up working with just a few types of crystals was because I have been doing this witchy work for about 25 years. Okay. Yes, that makes me pretty old. But back in the day, we didn't have Barnes & Noble. Okay. We didn't have, when I was 18, okay, 17, 18, when I first started really tapping into this witchy vibe, we didn't have Barnes & Noble, and we couldn't just go to the bookstore and buy a witchy book, off the shelf with all sorts of spell work or all sorts of rituals or ceremonies. We just didn't do that. The ones that were available were awesome. I still have them, but they were very intricate and detailed in the actual process of, conducting a, magical work. And a lot of the times they were asking for like crystals and especially herbs, okay, that I didn't have access to, okay? So as my magical practice, grew, I realized that I didn't necessarily need to tap into all of those other herbs or crystals, or incense or essential oils, as long as I could tap into the few that were tapping into me, so to speak. So it's great that practitioners and authors are writing these amazing books about all of their spells and all of the ritual work and sharing it with everybody. And if you're really tapping into a lot of those, what I refer to as more exotic, but they're not even exotic because you can get a hold of them, but I just don't, herbs and crystals, by all means, please do so. But I don't follow anybody else's spell work. I do my own spell work, mostly because when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of resources available. So I just learned to do this on my own. So I'm going to share with you the crystals and herbs and incense and essential oils. And so I'm hoping that this is going to be a 1-part video, but it might be 1, 2, or maybe even 3, just depending, because I don't want to make it too long. Okay, enough. All right. So my very first go-to crystal is always, always, always crystal quartz. Okay, this is my absolute favorite. Crystal quartz, I got this in San Diego in an authentically witchy shop. And crystal quartz is the foundation of all of the other crystals, or most of them anyways. And so you could use this for anything, for healing, for protection, for love, for, clarity, for removing negative energy. You can use this. The only thing though that I'm going to caution is that quartz is an amplifier, right? And so, we have quartz in most of our technology today, so it's obviously doing something, but it can be an amplifier. So if you're using it for like cleansing purposes or, trying to get rid of negative juju, you want to give it intention. Crystal quartz always needs intention, okay? So because it's the basis of all of the other quartz. So crystal quartz is my go-to. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this beautiful skull. Okay, so the idea behind crystal quartz is that this is Mother Earth's way of recording everything throughout time. So all crystals have all of the knowledge and insight that we need about Mother Earth and her, existence. So look at this piece right here. So you can use crystal, like completely clear crystal. Okay. You could use a piece like this. So any sort of crystal quartz is going to be, here's radiated. Can't really tell, but there we go. The light is a little bright. So any of this is absolutely going to work. That is crystal quartz. That's a foundation. You can use that for everything. Okay, then my next go-to crystal is always jet. These are the darker stones. These are more for protection. Okay, so jet is a soaker upper. It soaks up negative energy. So I have a piece of this under my couch in my office. So when my clients come, if they've got some of that bad juju, Okay, jet's going to soak it up. And if I feel they've got some, pretty heavy stuff, I hold on to this and I just kind of hold it in my hand. So jet is a soaker upper of negativity. My next go-to is obsidian. Okay, always, always obsidian. Obsidian is a protector. Okay, as well, negative, gets rid of negative juju. But this one's a super, super great protecting stone. This is a soaker up. Okay, so it's soaking up the negative energy. This is like protecting from negative energy. And I have this in my front door. I have this in my office. I have this next to my bed. Super good. All right, so that's obsidian. And then the next dark stone that I use is tourmaline. Okay, and here's a piece of tourmaline right here. Tourmaline for me is a very powerful but very gentle, protective and cleansing stone. So it does both. It protects, okay, and it also cleanses. So tourmaline is also great. I do not use onyx. Some people use onyx. It looks very similar to tourmaline or obsidian. I don't personally use onyx, but that's also a very protective stone. Okay, and the next one that I usually use is, ta-da, Lapis Lazuli. Yep, okay, this is, I don't know if you can see that, this is considered a very highly psychic stone, okay, and it is really great for third eye work, anything clarity of the higher self, clarity of the higher mind. Anytime that you want to tap into like psychic dreams or astral travel, this is definitely the crystal that you want to use. So lapis is really great for higher level work, right? So any type of ritual dealing with like, okay, so let's say that I want to know myself a little bit better and really figure out where my blocks are so I can move on to the next phase, I would tap into one of these. So lapis. Okay, the next one that I tend to use, this is also a protective stone, is hematite. A hematite is pretty heavy, okay? And I'm not even going to go into the ridiculous TikTok videos that are saying that you can break hematite, but if too much negative energy is like, no. So that's not true. But what is true is that hematite is a very highly protective and grounding stone. I have these in my office. So any of my clients, when they're experiencing like a lot of anxiety or restlessness, I have them take one of these and it's like, whoo, okay. So hematite, protection, grounding, amazing. The other one that I tend to use is selenite. Yep, selenite, okay? If you're wanting to call in the cosmic forces, okay, the cosmic energies, you definitely want a selenite and or celestite. Look at that, how pretty it is. I wish the sun wasn't beaming so much in so you could actually see how beautiful these stones are. And they're translucent. So the light is coming this way and I'm like, oh my God, it's translucent. Okay, so if you're wanting to call in the angels, angelic work, cosmic energy, really powerful guns, okay, a lot of high vibrating energy, these are the two to go to. This is, do not put this in water or salt. It'll just break down very, very, very quickly. So don't do that. But selenite and celestite. Okay. The other one that I go to, oh yes, how could I forget this one? Okay, Labradorite. Okay, look at that. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, this is a absolutely beautiful stone. Okay, beautiful crystal. Right, and this one is really great. I started working with this one recently. This one I use for a lot of dream work. So if you're interested in really tapping into that, hey, let's figure out what my subconscious is trying to tell me. Let's do some dream work or astral travel as well. This is a really great stone. It's very gentle, but it's very powerful. It's a very highly spiritual stone too. So if you're going to, do a ritual, a healing ritual, or maybe just a spiritual ritual, this Labradorite is an absolute must go to. Okay. The other one that I tend to use a whole bunch, I'm trying to remember here because I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay. I don't really use rose quartz. Okay. I know a lot of people use rose quartz for like love spells and, harmony and peace. And I have a bunch of them. Don't get me wrong. They're downstairs in my living room because if we're going to spend time together, we better be, harmonious. But I don't tend to tap into rose quartz a lot, but I do tap into amethyst. Okay, now amethyst is a very highly spiritual stone. It's also considered the crown chakra. Okay, right there, the crown chakra stone. And so it does provide clarity of the higher self, okay? But this is also really great for like any sort of magical work dealing with like love or like harmony or like really wanting to get together and in a union with your partner, not just because you're hot for him or her, but you know, because you really want to create this everlasting union. So this is a great piece. If you want to bring harmony to your space, get you some amethyst, super spiritual stone. We could not go anywhere if I wasn't mentioning Moonstone. So here's Moonstone, right? All of my moon work includes Moonstone. So here's a piece my mama gave me. So absolutely, Moonstone's also very calming. So if you're tapping into like anxiety, if you want something a little bit more gentle to come into your life, like maybe you want your relationship to calm down a little bit, or maybe you want your job responsibilities to calm down a little bit, Moonstone is great to do that. The other one that I work with is Oralite, or aka Opalite. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. This is a highly, it's man-made, okay, but it does bring in the cosmic energies as well. And then of course we have, oh yes, and I love this one for manifestation. This is honey calcite. Okay, so manifestation, calcite for manifestation is great. We have all sorts of calcite. We have honey. This one's great for manifestation. It's also great for dream work. I'm doing a lot of dream work with this one. If you're looking at finances, okay, or income or anything of that nature, you really want to tap into the green calcite. Okay, so calcite is great for manifestation. Now, this one, okay, is tiger's eye. Okay, I don't know if you can see that very well, but I don't use tiger's eye a whole bunch, but I do pull this one out when I have like some big guns. I gotta like take care of some negative juju. So it's a super highly protective stone. It's a cleansing stone, but I usually use it just, you know, for like, you know, getting rid of attachments and stuff. So I lost my train of thought. Tiger's eye, go for it. Okay, the other one that I don't use very often, but it's a go-to a little bit more often now than it was before, is fluorite. Now fluorite comes in like this whitish color, this purplish color, this green color, and I don't know if you can really see, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So fluorite is great for communication. It's test taking. Okay, the lower mind is what we're looking at. So communication, remembering things, what else? It's good for finances as well, especially the green one. Okay, it's really good for friendship too. And so if you're really looking for any of those, you know, aspects of like dealing with the mind, communication, throat chakra, that kind of thing, you definitely want to tap into some fluorite. And I think that's it for now. Every once in a while, I will use Carnelian. Carnelian is great for like artistic creativity kind of manifestation. So it's also a hot stone, right? Literally, it looks like the sun. Okay, so you can use that if you want to bring some heat or some spice into your life. And then of course, we can go anywhere without pyrite. Pyrite is fool's gold, and it is great for money spells as well, or income, or really future endeavors. Okay, so if you're planning something, you know, in the future, pyrite is a great stone for you to work with. So I think that is pretty much it for my stones. I will stop the video right now, and I'll make part 2. So watch out for part 2, but part 2 is going to talk about my herbs and my incense and my essential oils. But anyhow, I hope that was helpful. These are my go-to. I really don't venture out more than these crystals for any of my ritual work. And so I really feel there's efficiency and effectiveness with using, you know, a small amount or your go-to kind of crystals. And if you're trying to tap into what crystal is, you know, great for you, just kind of put it in your non-dominant hand, right? So you just kind of put in your non-dominant hand, you can bring it to your heart. Okay, see how it feels. Right? If it doesn't feel good, it's probably not for you. If you question like, just sit with it for a little bit. The stone will tell you, the crystal will tell you if you're supposed to take it home or not. All right, everyone. I hope this has been helpful. If you want to learn more, please reach out to me. You can find me at spiritualessence.com. That's spiritual-essence.com. And I will let you go before this light goes up my face and I look like a zebra. All right, take care, everyone.